kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
I hope you're ready. This is going to be exciting.
And we got career starts up to go. Green flag is out and we're underway.
Just a few laps into this. Oh, the 37's getting loose. Oh, and he saves it. Oh, they're going 3 wide.
We've got a 5-way fight for the win of this race coming to 4 laps to go. He's gonna win it here in spectacular fashion.
From Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the Goat Locker Racing INVets Truck Series is ready to get it on right here in Sin City. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast Booth. Dave Regal and Jordan Brockel with you here, bringing you all of the action live on Sim Racing Media. We've had an exciting week off. Last week, the ARCA Series was here at Vegas, and now tonight, it's the truck's turn. Get yourselves settled in and grab your popcorn and call a friend, because we're going to be with you every step of the way. From the green flag to the checkered flag, right here on Sim Racing Media. And Jordan, as always, what a pleasure to slide in here with you on a Sunday night. Of course, we had kind of a quiet week for the two of us. Usually, of course, we're covering all things Goat Locker Racing, and or at least here on the SRM side of things. And this week, not so much.
No, we get back-to-back races this week for what feels like the first time in an eternity. I missed these guys when we don't have a race. But looking forward to these guys to throwing down a couple bets and throwing the dice, whatever your fancy is, and see what comes out on the other side with this. They got 1.5 miles here, and it's gonna be fast, it's gonna be quick, and it's gonna be possibly chaotic.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. We were talking about this off air, before we went live tonight. And one of the things that you and I both kind of expressed to one another is what a joy it is to call these races, because these guys are incredible. During practice, they were running 30-second laps. Qualifying is about to get underway. And, I mean, the competition has been just this side of absolutely gargantuanly amazing. I cannot be more excited to reveal some of these things. Now, of course, we want to talk about 2 weeks ago. Now, this isn't last week, because last week, of course, was an off week here in our schedule. But as we pull things together, Jesse Whittington picked up his first win of the season. And, here's the deal with Whittington. Now, of course, he was also joined by Joseph McWhorter and Brandon Wallace on the podium. But all things considered, Whittington, I'm not saying he ran a clinic at Dover, because it's hard to do that at Dover, but he absolutely showed everybody who's boss.
I mean, without a doubt there. I mean, he pretty much ran away with it the majority of the race. I mean, he had a couple instances where he was under fire for a little while, but once he got to that clean air and was able to get into a groove, it was really hard to even keep, stay in the same zip code as him. I mean, he was basically already on his way here to Las Vegas a week early. He would be sitting here if he was a week early, but certainly he was making the travel early.
Yeah, and last September we were here at Las Vegas. Well, the INVets Truck Series was here last September at Las Vegas. Jeremy Gardner and Patrick Drabeck battled it out here in the desert, combining to lead 50 of the 80 laps of last September's race. Gardner took the checkered flag with less than 700th of a second between himself and Drabeck in a race that had only 3 cautions and 10 lead changes. Now, there is one penalty tonight that's going to be carried over from Charlotte, and that's for our series director, Daniel Craykiel. He has an end of line for a failure to maintain pace speed on a restart, causing damage. And here's the thing: as we get into some of these segments tonight, we're going to see a lot of different drivers, and I don't see him out on track tonight. I don't see him in timing and scoring, unless my eyes are deceiving me, and they're not tonight, at least. The other thing is, Whittington last week or 2 weeks ago at the Monster Mile had 56 of 100 laps in one caution. Can you imagine? We were just talking about how much fun it is to call these races, and we're talking about guys that are only getting one caution at, of all places, Dover. Here's our points so far this season. After 5 of 10 regular season races, we see Jesse Whittington picking up that win. Now, that also puts Travis Beaver just 2 spots above Brandon Wallace, who's at the cut line. He's only 1 point to the good. And Jeremiah Holt and Matthew Hott, they, of course, are all trying to get here on that cut line. We've only got about 5 races left in the season, as, everybody's taking a peek at our schedule, hopefully, which was your thumbnail today to find this race. Here's the thing that scares me with this short period of time left. The heat's going to get turned up, and mistakes can be made. I mean, this week we're here at Las Vegas. Next week we're at Phoenix. And then you guys, without me, are going to be heading to Lucas Oil Raceway and Watkins Glen. And then when I come back from vacation, it's going to be Kansas, which is our regular season finale before heading to Nashville for the round of 12. There's going to be a lot of competition that, quite frankly, is horrifically scary, especially as we head into this point in the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And I kind of look for Lucas Oil to be one of those tracks where we see a great deal of action. It's a little bit of a smaller track, so I think you're going to see a lot more bumpers used. And then Watkins Glen the following week after that, I look for somebody to kind of be that, not necessarily a dark horse in terms of road course racing, but someone who's kind of a dark horse when it comes to these oval configurations that we run. I look for somebody to kind of peek out and be like, hey, like I can get it done at this road course to get myself into the championship, hunt, and see them run in through that and kind of just roll with that to get some progression through that playoffs.
Absolutely. Just a couple of seconds left in qualifying, as it looks like Joseph McWhorter is going to pick up pole position tonight. He'll be awarded the Jam Printing and Promotions. I'm just making sure, as long as nobody tries to go out there. See, what scares me is that I'm going to say something like Joseph McWhorter is going to get our pole position, and somebody's going to run that last second. But, and just as I say that, there we go. Joseph McWhorter gets the Jam Printing and Promotions Pole Award tonight. Out of Plainfield, Indiana, we're local and veteran certified, and when we do well, we can do more good in the community. Since forming in 2013, Jam has contributed printing and promotional sponsorships to more than 60 local nonprofits, with a primary focus on organizations that assist veterans, women, and children. They have been with Goat Locker Racing since the very beginning. They provide GLR with all promotional items, including shirts, hats, decals, dog tags, you name it. Jam is GLR's go-to promotional company, and they, of course, support our pole award across all of our series this season. And Joseph McWhorter hopping into the race truck. He's going to be on the front row tonight, as we want to thank Jam Printing and Promotions. As we pull up that grid info here, Joseph McWhorter, as we mentioned, he is going to be our pole sitter. He'll be alongside of Ole, Pennsylvania's very own Brett Bieber. Big David Duke in the 78-6 to the inside of row number 2 alongside of Jeremiah Holt. Row 3 going to feature Mark Cofield and Casey Jones, as we go on back here to where Alex McQueen and Christopher Morse Jr. should be. Christopher Morse Jr. still not in the race truck just yet here in row number 4. Row 5 is going to be Jamie Libke and James Kaufman, as the brother of Brett Bieber, Travis Bieber, also out of Ole, Pennsylvania. He's going to be on the inside of row number 6. We move along here as I look for that next button. There it is. Row number 7 going to feature Andy Kurtz and Matt Knights, alongside or just ahead of Cameron Wessenberg and Mark Holyfield. They're going to be here in row number 8. Row 9 is Kevin Price and Skylar Daly, while Tommy Lemley and Jacob Lenke are going to be in row number 10. That's your starting top 20, with Charles Abert and Kyle Deering starting shotgun on the field. Looks like Brandon Wallace not going to be taking the start tonight. As we get ready to rock and roll, 22 trucks scheduled to take the green flag tonight as Joseph McWhorter rolls off here behind the iRacing.com pace truck.
Yeah, and I'm looking here, and Joseph McWhorter has a big possibility to be our first-time, multi-time winner this season, starting on the pole here. But I also want to look back to that 73 machine of Jeremiah Holt. He's just below the cut line, one spot below it, and with such a good starting position, he's going to probably have the mindset of trying to get everything that he can possibly get here, and get a win, lock himself in, and kind of be able to breathe easy a little bit better over the course of these next 5 races.
Yeah, taking a look here at Jamie Libke out of Phoenix, Arizona. Of course, we'll be heading there next week. This is going to be one of my dark horse picks tonight. And, quite frankly, I love these guys. I love everything that they do here. And I'm excited to watch the green flag fly when it does. As you had mentioned, 5 races, 4 different winners. Joseph McWhorter watches the iRacing.com pace truck. He's out of St. Robert. iRacing.com pace truck makes the hard left turn down pit road. And that means the only thing that's left to do is it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab your popcorn, your honey buns, and settle in. It's time to roll the dice. Race fans, it's showtime!
Yeah, Bieber sees that opening there to tuck in front of Big Duke there to keep control of that second position, but McWhorter already out to a quarter of a second of a lead here.
Going on board here with Mark Cofield to the inside of the 78. Cofield starts to draft in behind the Save 22 Vet Chevrolet Silverado of David Duke, and we look here to the high side. This is going to be an interesting battle as the camera rotates around. All of a sudden, just behind,
Okay, yellow flag on the racetrack.
as the caution comes out. Go figure. That's just our luck here in Las Vegas, as we're going to see what happened with Skylar Daly, as, of course, just barely getting a full lap in. First caution of the night.
That pace truck scared the crap out of me. It came up through the middle of the field.
Bet you it scared the crap out of a few people. Watch the 22. Oh.
Yeah, it just looks like the 80 of Kevin Price got a little loose there and tried to avoid disaster, and then ends up kind of losing himself there. 30 machine of Tommy Lemley.
Oh.
And Skylar Daly just not really much to do there.
No, and we're going to take a look at this from Lemley's perspective here. As we get right up here to the rear of the Buckeye State. Oi! Do not, we would say in Pennsylvania Dutch country. I do, Yama. I don't think that's a good idea. It's a rough way to start the race. Now, you have to remember, folks, though, a big thing, at least from what I can gather all the time, we've got a fast repair. So these drivers that just, pretty much got their cage rattled, they can quick go down, hit that fast repair, and come back out on track. And it looks like everybody pretty much did. Now, the unfortunate thing is, for some of these guys, you pick up that damage really early in the race, obviously here in our opening lap. And, you don't want to burn it, because now if something really nasty happens to you later on in the evening, now you've got nothing to fall back on. But at the same time, maybe good things will happen. Maybe you've gotten all of that bad luck out. We want to thank our friends over at INVets, founded by veterans and for veterans, and they aid in transitioning to civilian life, focusing on job placement and finding the right community for veterans and their families to ensure their success and happiness. They're a veteran nonprofit in Indiana with the goal of bringing veterans to that state to live and work. And, of course, without INVets, we would not be here tonight on the Goat Locker Racing platform. And first of all, I cannot say enough good about these folks here at Goat Locker. We've got a lot of things that we can be thankful for on a daily, but overall, you have to understand that at GLR, they provide virtual racing equipment, racing team building opportunities and fundraising events to support community initiatives to improve military and public servant quality of life. They seek to grow their competitive team of drivers and promote VR racing as a healthy activity to newly transitioning veterans and their families. And we believe that friendly competition, adrenaline-soaked driving, and community gatherings are essential to a good quality of life for our civic servants and veterans, and that GLR can be a force of good all across the state of Indiana and beyond. And folks, we encourage all of you to check out Goat Locker Racing online. You can look them up and understand that any donations to GLR will fund equipment for qualifying drivers, racer simulation training for military, firefighter, EMS, and police personnel, public racing events and community outreach with mobile simulators, other veteran-serving nonprofits, and, of course, veteran education supplement grants. And, I mean, you know, what these guys do is just this side of it of incredible. Speaking of incredible, we've already gotten through our first caution of the evening, and off we go here on lap number 4. Green flag goes back in the air, and Joseph McWhorter flies away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, been able to see him. Both restarts that we've seen from him, he's able to fire off and really take off and gap the field. Mark Cofield here, he's been doing pretty well in the ARCA series as well. He's been kind of getting into a rhythm, getting into a groove. So look for him to have a strong running here, as long as he can keep his nose clean and keep that truck under him. So there's a lot of things that are starting to come around for both series that we cover, especially here in the truck series, with these guys getting a lot of time last week at Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, I think as we get more familiar with them, they get more familiar with us. As we take a look, whoa, boy, as Michael McCarthy out of Matamoros, Pennsylvania, just up there in that, right by the New York, PA border. For me, it would be a forever drive on I-476. He's currently running in 7th position. Christopher Morris Jr. in 4th position now, already up 3 from where he had started. Our big mover of the night right now is in that 50-cent piece, a plain Jane orange machine, but Kyle Deering up 6 positions. McCarthy now up 6 as well, and I got a bad feeling about this right here. We are side by side. Watch the 97. If any, there it is.
Oh,
there it is.
There it is.
Oh, Jesus, criminy Christmas.
That's
Aye.
not a... Oh, look at the 22 just kind of creep by. They're like, yeah, I already used that fast repair. I need to be careful.
Hey there, partner. Remember that time, Jordan, that I said I got a bad feeling about this? Remember that time?
Yeah, well, last time
That
you
was
said
a
it to
good-
me,
that
it
was a
was
good
something
time.
to do with heartburn.
Yeah, well, that's true. Also, the last time I said I got a bad feeling about this, there was a lot of alcohol and there was a gerbil in a glass tube. I don't know. It was scary. Jeez, on Christmas. I was watching the 97, and I didn't have Jeremiah Holt in the 73 on my bingo card for this one.
Well, I'm
Aye.
sorry, Mr. Jeremiah Holt. I gave you some praise at the top of the hour, and I gotta stop doing that. I gotta stop doing it. I did say, to be fair, I did say Jesse Whittington's name last week, and he had a dominant thing at Dover, but I guess that's where my luck runs out, is Dover.
And you were just talking really highly of Kaufman as well, and there it goes. All of these drivers love them. We talk nice about them, obviously.
Certainly going to be a trip to the infield care center for a couple of those guys with those hits. So, and like I said, look, the 22 just like, I already used my fast repair. Just going to kind of navigate this slowly.
Well, but that's exactly what I was talking about, though. I mean, you can burn that fast repair earlier, and I mean, don't get me wrong. In some of these drivers' situations, they don't have a choice but to burn the fast repair. Because you want to try to be as competitive as humanly possible throughout, especially the midsection of this race. I mean, right now we're only at lap number 9. We're working toward lap 10 under caution. 2 cautions for the evening. Now, after last September's race here, and everything that we know about that particular event last year, maybe we start to see everybody slide right in here, and suddenly, after we've got 2 out of those 3 cautions from last season, maybe we got one more left in us.
I mean, normally when we come to a week off or something like that, there's a little bit of racing rust. As when I was in the wrestling world, it was called ring rust. I guess you could call it sim rust. But you got to kind of knock that off and kind of get yourself back into a rhythm, get yourself into a groove, and that's kind of what we're seeing here right now. I do also want to point out Joseph McWhorter looks like he came down pit road, so he's going to be a different sequence here. So Brett Bieber going to have the lead here for the first time tonight. So some interesting developments already starting here.
Yep, for our first official lead change of the night, it comes at the mercy of a pit cycle change here, as Oli PA's very own Brett Bieber in the 808 Wadies machine is going to take over the lead. We want to thank our friends over at Lincoln Tech. Lincoln's mission is to provide superior education and training to our students for in-demand careers in a supportive, accessible learning environment, transforming students' lives and adding value to their communities. They are one of the largest automotive technology schools in the nation with 23 campuses, and of course, they do sponsor the Spring Series here in GLR, and they're a huge part here with GLR. And of course, you can check out goatlockerracing.org/donate, as we mentioned a few moments ago. And make sure that, of course, your donation goes directly to the veterans and first responders that we so very much need in this world. Brett Bieber watches the iRacing.com pace truck dip on down. Big David Duke sits to the outside. Off goes Bieber. And we're back underway.
You see that? That control car is such an important thing to have, because you can see, just like McWhorter was able to do, he's able to jump out to about a quarter of a second of lead. Second place, kind of falls in line, and it's all just a run to catch up to him.
Yeah, as we get back underway here, my goodness.
I was going to say, actually, it looks like Mark Cofield's actually doing a really good job at catching him here.
Yeah, we're about to go back here and check out what's going on with Cameron Wessenberg. Wessenberg all of a sudden goes to the inside. They go 3 wide. Watch the 32 in the middle holding his breath as the 72 of Joseph McWhorter just hurls himself on past. McWhorter not going to waste any time getting back up to the front as well. The 20, what was that? I think that was a 20-something back there in the wall. Couldn't see it. Happened too fast. And, one of the things... Watch Libke here in the 16. He suddenly got the 50-cent piece of Kyle Deering to the inside.
You see Duke kind of doing it kind of looks like Duke's having to do something that you would do at a super speedway, trying to block both runs from inside, outside. Got the 56, I believe, 76 sideways. He's backwards on the track.
He stays below the white line, so we stay green as we look here from that rear deck lid of Big David Duke. You talked about it a moment ago as the 3 of Michael McCarthy out of Matamoros, Pennsylvania, looks to the high side. The 114 of Travis Bieber, the Pennsylvania contingent about to attack Big David Duke. As we're going to go on board here from the nose of Travis Bieber. Some of this racing, man, all of a sudden I can't keep this together. It's way too exciting to sit here and watch silently. This is one of those where even if you're at home, I know that you're all screaming here as we watch to the high side now. The 3 of Michael McCarthy giving all the business right now to Big David Duke.
Yeah, and like I was saying just a moment ago, it's like he was kind of working the super speedway tactic of trying to block both lines, but McCarthy able to get a good run into that corner, drives it in a little harder, and moves into the 3rd place position now. Bieber looking to the inside of Duke now.
Let's go on board here with the 48 of Andrew Kurtz. Andy Kurtz, another Pennsylvania driver, just a few minutes away from me up in Quakertown, PA. I was through there yesterday. As he now looks to the inside of Travis Bieber, all of a sudden, this is getting almost too close to home for me, my man.
Yeah, and this is a little tidbit of something that I happened to see, a couple of weeks ago, and I kept forgetting to bring it up. But there's Andy Kurtz spelled Kurtz. It's not a common last name, and I want to say I was looking at Braden Lassiter from the I believe it was Braden Lassiter is how you say the last name. I was looking at his car that made into the ARCA race, and it was supported by donators and everything from various different platforms and different businesses and stuff like that. And I saw Andy Kurtz's name on there.
Well, it's entirely possible that maybe Kurtz has some type of connection there.
Yeah, and I mean, what it was there was like a entire just list of what looked like random people's names, and it was just a big black sheet vinyl that had a bunch of names in a list, like you would see like an attendance sheet in alphabetical order, and right there at the top of it was Andy Kurt's name.
Interesting.
Just
Here
a
we
little
go.
random
Kevin,
tidbit.
not to change the subject too drastically, but Kevin Price out of Findlay, Ohio, he runs just behind the 22 of Skylar Daly. Obviously, these guys know how to use their gold leafing artwork properly, as Jamie Libke and Jacob Lemke. Go ahead, try to do that one easily. Go side by side. Let's go on board with Libke. And this dude, I'll tell you what, got a chance to watch him for quite a while, and of course, for some reason, our driver cams aren't doing exactly what they're supposed to do tonight. But somebody who's usually very relaxed behind the wheel, and tonight no different there, as Phoenix, Arizona's Jamie Libke works here in 9th position. That's where he started. Brett Bieber still leading the way here after 20 laps. We're a quarter of the way through this thing. And all of a sudden, things seem to have calmed down quite a bit. But don't look now. Casey Jones all of a sudden starts to reel in Tommy Lemley. Lemley, Lenke, Libke. I'm going to botch this. I feel like I need to say sorry in advance. Which, by the way, is a
It's one of those
fabulous,
things you're just like, oopsies.
Yeah. By the way, sorry in advance is a fabulous, hopefully former podcast. Actually, I think Sorry in Advance is a former podcast. The Golick Family Podcast.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Riding along with Travis Bieber here as he looks to the inside of the 97 of Mark Cofield. Cofield here, as we're going to take one quick look. Nice and easy here at the wheel. We're going to start seeing creeping in Travis Bieber from the outside as Cofield's got himself squatted down in that seat. Now all of a sudden Bieber backs off.
Yeah, I mean, this is the closest we've seen this front pack, this entire race here so far. McWhorter hasn't really been able to move up that fast. He's only up about 3 or 4 positions from the restart. So certainly the tire advantage not being a major thing at this point. But he's going to be able to run this run out a lot longer than these guys currently. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out throughout this race.
Absolutely, and as we ride along here with David Duke, in the 78, we go under caution for the 3rd time. Looking to see what might have brought this mess out. I don't see anybody registering as having wrecked. I didn't see anybody dropping down. I don't see anybody off pace just yet. This may be a mystery caution. We'll say that it may be for debris.
It's still a mystery. The world may never know.
The world may never know.
When there's the I guess you could call them like sound stims that just they trigger something, and every time someone's like, oh, and I'm like, my brain, every time someone's like, oh, I'm like, the world may never know.
Without a doubt. Well, while we get ready to see what's going to be wholesale pit stops, Brett Bieber, Mark Cofield, and Travis Bieber, they're all going to come down pit road. As they shove themselves down here, watch the 97 of Mark Cofield. Brett Bieber's going to peel off, and he's going to hit his pit box. As we start to see everybody peeking in. Kyle Deering made a beeline for his pit box. And Casey Jones stays out on track. Brett Bieber going to get service. There's Joseph McWhorter sliding in, our pole sitter.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see him come down pit road just because he had been down on lap 8. I know it's not a ton of difference, but
Well, looks like Bieber's going to beat everybody off down here on pit road. So they're all going to rejoin Casey Jones, and when we come back, we'll be back green flag racing right here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. You're watching the INVets Truck Series, brought to you by Goat Locker Racing live on Sim Racing Media. I'm Dave Regal. He's Jordan Brockell, and we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway, where we're ready to go back green flag racing. Casey Jones going to be our race leader after our third caution of the evening. Dave Regal and Jordan Brockell with you here as always on Sim Racing Media, bringing you all of the action. When we go back green flag racing, it's going to be Casey Jones and Brett Bieber on the front row, as Brett Bieber and most of everybody except for Jones came down pit road, while Andy Kurtz, Travis Bieber, Big Duke, Michael McCarthy, Jamie Libke, Mark Cofield, Jacob Ledke, and Kyle Deering will make up your top 10. Well, Jordan, I don't like to be rude, and I'm trying not to be, but let's watch everybody run directly over top of Casey Jones' tailpipe.
I mean, I was trying to be nice, but that pace car is going to make that hard left turn, give it over to Casey Jones, and we're going to see something.
A good start from... Oh, dear. That's even
Casey
more
Jones
horrific.
Casey Jones says, I don't want to be here.
Casey Jones has a connection issue amidst all of this, as we watch them tear down into turn number 1. So far, so good. Now it looks like Jones is going to pull down to the inside, opening the door for Andy Kurtz in the 48. As the 34 of Jones, still very competitive, but you can tell is holding up the 97 of Mark Cofield. We go on board with Cofield, who swings to the high side now. He's trying to get around Jones, but Jones holding on for dear life. And I mean, look, you know, you don't have to get out of someone's way in this sport. You can make him earn it, and earn it he shall. As now it looks like Jones going to get around, and under caution.
A yeller.
It's not an old yeller, that's a new yeller. Looks like this may be related to Charles Haber.
Hello, yellow, my old friend.
Not that one, no. That's not how that one works. Watch Aber here in the 7. Oh dear.
So Hollifield got a hold of, I believe that was the 80 of Kevin Price. Yep. And it just kind of, you know, the 7 of Abbott had nowhere to go. No, he went to the outside. He was like, I'm going to get a spot. Never mind. That's just unfortunate. Those are the ones that get to you, too. You know, you feel like you're doing something right. You move yourself to the outside. You find a lane that you can run with. And all of a sudden you have a face full of a tailgate.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to take this opportunity to hear from our good friends over at Mission. And, of course, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This should be a pretty quick caution, considering we're just at caution and just came back green. So we will be right back with the INVets Truck Series live at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. INVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. INVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about INVets, visit us at invets.org today.
Masker can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force it off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it. They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
No back into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
As we come back here to Las Vegas Motor Speedway, we're ready to go back green flag racing here on lap number 32 of 80. 33 at the line. Dave Regal and Jordan Rockhill with you in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast booth. We want to thank all of you for tuning in. Of course, making us a part of your evening is Andy Kurtz, your new race leader. He's up 12 positions from where he began back in 13th. While Kyle Deering in that 50-cent piece, he's got his F-150 up 14 positions. A lot of movement tonight.
Yeah, a ton of movement here. And one thing I didn't think about on that last round of pit stops that we had 2 cautions ago now was when McWhorter came down to get new tires and kind of get on the same schedule as you guys, he was able to gain a ton of positions because he didn't have to sit for that long for fuel because he had just gotten a whole tank of fuel. So he was able to actually capitalize and put himself on the same tires as these guys. So that was actually a really phenomenal call there for him.
You know, one of the things about iRacing that I think is drastically undersold time and time again is the fact that you have to be your own crew chief. Most of the time, 3 wide, holy crap. Watch the 97 of Mark Cofield. The 34 blinking behind them. Oh, Jesus, what a block from the 97.
Really close.
I'm a big guy. I could have a heart attack at any moment and be face down on the floor.
Please don't do that.
Yeah, no. How would you stop the stream if I was dead? I mean, that would be my first concern.
I'd just be yelling for.
Yeah, be calling for Lindsay. Quick! Get the fat man. He's down.
Fat man's down. Not Santa Claus.
Oh, we're gonna. Oh God. We're going to go on board right here with the 32 of Cameron Westenberg, new member of the Brown Pants Club.
That's why I wear brown pants. It doesn't change.
Whoa! God. Lipke got to stay down.
I certainly thought Lipke was going for that inside wall with the angle that
Let's
looked
go back
like,
and see what happened. Oh. This may have started just a tick further back. Watch the 34. Ah! Well, isn't this frustrating? Let's roll back a little bit further. Something had to have happened here as we go back. Watch the 16. Ah, they checked up right in front of him. Yep.
Yeah, and he just gets a touch of, I believe it was a 37 car. Or truck. I keep calling them cars when they're... Oh, and he's wrecked now.
And in a new development, folks, while we were watching that mess, how much you want to bet this may have been a follow-up incident?
Once bitten, twice shy.
Take a look at this.
They're already slowing down, and the 37 finished the job.
Let's see if we can.
Somehow, Lipke and the 37 found themselves on the front stretch there, and it just looked like Lenke's car decided to kind of make that turn back towards the right as Lipke was coming through there. You see up ahead.
They were wrecked. There it is.
And it looked like he tried to get going again. And that's the thing that's really hard with these stock cars. Is you get it back under control. He gets turned off the nose of the 3 there. And it seems like just as he gets it settled down in the middle of that track, he tries to gas it up and go. And as soon as he tries to gas it up and go, it makes a hard beeline to the right. Just tries to squeeze into a hole there that wasn't fully there, trying to just side draft a little, and it's hard to judge that. You come off the corner, you think you're good, and then the truck reacts in a way where it just kind of floats upwards on you, coming off a corner as that suspension starts to unload. It kind of drifts up a little bit, and he just grabs the left rear quarter. I wouldn't even say left rear quarter, I'd just say the left rear bumper of the 37 machine there, and the rest is history.
The Allen Experience checking in our YouTube.com live chat, saying Beaver Fever to the lead. Beaver Fever. That, of course, speaking of my fellow countryman Travis Bieber from Oley, Pennsylvania, representing the 610 in Berks County.
Pennsylvania.
Yes, sir. Actually, that's nearly. You were what?
I wasn't going to say your neck of the woods, but I was certainly up near you, and up in Allentown.
So you drove past me.
Yeah, I passed you. Well, it depends. I can't remember exactly.
No, when you were on 470, when you were on 476.
Don't start throwing numbers at me. I barely know the ones in my own state.
When
I know
you were
I-95
on the Pennsylvania
and
Turnpike. Okay, no, you were on I-95, and then you got on 476.
So I went up through Philly, up into Allentown. When we came back, we came back a completely different way.
Well, when you came, you probably went 78 to 81, maybe.
Yeah, we ended up in Prata, so.
Ah, okay. Well, at least when you went north, you drove past the signs that said Norristown, and you could have made it. You could have made a hard left right there, stopped over and seen your boy. But that's fine. Forget me.
We had to go look at a truck, okay? And it was he avoided tolls, so it took 2.5 hours to get to Allentown and 2.5 hours back. I was not stopping for nothing.
Oh, you were on
what's about to pick up is these guys here. The pace car gave the control to Travis Beaver as he mashes that throttle with Joseph McWhorter in tow right behind him. Noah Crowfield's going to fall in line in third. McWhorter's looking to get back the lead that he gave up on his own free will.
Once again, watching Kyle Deering here in the 50 Ford F-150. Oh my. I feel like an old Jewish mother trying to harass you for not stopping and saying hello. Or like Uncle Leo from Seinfeld. You could have said hello.
I did in my mind. I was like, Dave's up here somewhere.
Yeah, can't miss me.
Oh, McWhorter gets a little bit of a touch from the 97 of Mark Cofield. That certainly could have been the end of the race for the 72 machine there.
Here they go. We're going to stay here with Cameron Wessenberg here in the 32. Something tells me that we should hang out here as Wessenberg goes 3 wide. He's the meat in the middle of that sandwich. Watch the 34 of Casey Jones, who still has not... Oh, yep, he did. He came down on 39. The 78 of Big David Duke in the Operation Valor Chevrolet Silverado just ahead of Wessenberg now. As Wessenberg again winds up 3 wide, the meat in another sandwich. Hey. You never want to let your meat loaf when you're in the middle of that sandwich, that's for sure. Watch the 80. Kevin Price looks to the inside. He slides back up onto the racing surface.
Off of a little loose on the outside. Causes 64 to check up. There's a lot going on here.
There sure as heck is. Halfway through this piece.
You get sideways, I get sideways, everybody gets sideways.
As we work here on lap number 45. Side-by-side battle for the lead. Watch these guys go. And right now, the 48 of Andy Kurtz is... He's looking currently for his Tide pen because you don't want to stain your ride. Use Tide.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think everything on these guys' mind right now is you cannot let that 72 out to the lead. I think if that 72 gets back out into the full clean air, because, you know, he's still getting a little bit of a wake from the 114 of Travis Beaver being there to his inside, the side draft pulling him back, you know, the whole 9 yards. If you let that 72 back out into the full front, clean air, he's going to be able to take off. I mean, he's been a strong, dominant truck this entire time, and the moment that he gets into that clean air, it's going to be a game over for quite a while. And certainly getting a push from the 48 of Andy Kurtz. He's going to be able to stay side by side, but it's not going to last for long if he can't get out in front and clear the 72 machine. He gets to send off into the turn one there. 97 closes in on the 808 of the other Bieber. I couldn't think of which one it was. I've been bouncing back and forth between Biebers. That's Brett Bieber in the 808 machine there.
Michael McCarthy from Matamoros here in the Trey machine. Woof. He said, is there any room for the trois? Side by side for the first 3 rows and the 30 of Tommy Lemley. Lemley just kind of riding along here, staying out of trouble, waiting for somebody else to make the mistake. He's suddenly lurking like a lion in the weeds.
Yeah, he's just kind of bouncing between lines, just not really sure where he can go. And again, a lot of the people don't want to be on that outside line and work with the 72, as it looks like the 72 just ahead got clear of Travis Beaver. So that's going to be the big thing right now, is can anyone kind of get up there and contest Travis Beaver now?
Well, you know, here's the thing. McWhorter just dragged himself back out here to the lead. He's our pole sitter, and as we look out from that deck lid here, McWhorter's plenty fine to watch everybody else duke it out. That way he can start to kind of scurry away from the rest of the pack. We're 50, we've got 30 to go here. You know, this is exactly what McWhorter wants to see. And speaking of big deals, let's watch back here the 78 of David Duke. Big Duke here in the 78 above the yellow line machine. He slid all the way back down to 12th after qualifying on the inside of the second row. Of course, he's got that above the yellow line paint scheme, and in 2021, Above the Yellow Line with Taylor Kitchen began as a podcast fueled by a passion for motorsports and a desire to build community. What started as a simple idea has grown into something far beyond what she could have imagined.
Oh!
Through this
Sorry, I did not mean to cut you off.
No, that's your job. Cut me off when you see crazy stuff.
Oh, Mike McCarthy gets hit by the 76 of Mark Hollifield. It looked like the 48 and the 3 got together at the front of that pack. Kurtz was able to kind of semi-save it on several different occasions and then keep it safe. But Mike McCarthy comes back up and gets run over. Reed tries to save it, hits that wall, and he's just a missile at this point. And then he gets hit by the 76, but somehow Andy Kurtz keeps that thing as clean as I think he could have there.
Watch the 48 here. Now he bounces off the 3.
Normally if you spin out like he just did there, you're total. Like you're getting hit by 17 people like the 76 just hit the 3.
The 37 though, let's watch this from his cockpit. You're going to love this. Now you can see the 48 and the 3, they make contact. Bang, bang.
And honestly, all you hear is a little small blip of the throttle. Meanwhile, I probably would have ended up wrecking myself because I'd have been like, I gotta go high for some reason.
If I wouldn't have wrecked the truck, I certainly would have wrecked my shorts.
That's just a random Tuesday night for you normally, so.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Hey man, you gotta stay away from the Taco Bell.
Buddy, listen, I have a whole new gastric problem. I'm telling you right now.
Lordy. Oh boy.
As it looks like Casey Jones with a connection issue. As I was saying a moment ago about Above the Yellow Line. In 2021, Above the Yellow Line with Taylor Kitchen began as a podcast fueled by a passion for motorsports and a desire to build community. What started as a simple idea has grown into something far beyond what she could have imagined. And through this journey, Taylor and her team have not only connected with passionate motorsports fans, but have also formed connections with several inspiring content creators united for their love of the sport. That passion and collaboration led to the creation of ATYL Media, a dynamic team of motorsports content creators dedicated to producing motorsports content that's fresh, informative, and fun. At ATYL Media, we cover everything you love about motorsports, from F1 and IndyCar to NASCAR, short tracks, and even virtual racing. We celebrate the sport's rich history, explore its exciting future, and enjoy every moment in between. This is Motorsports Media your way. And of course, you can go check out Goat Talk Live over on their platform on YouTube.com as the iRacing.com pace truck lights turn out. Casey Jones going to be our race leader once again. And he'll be joined by Big David Duke here on the front row.
Yeah, choosing to stay out again. These guys all came down just 2 laps ago now under this caution. Big Duke and Casey Jones both haven't been down since lap 39, so they're on a little bit older stuff here again. 14 laps, if my math is good. I believe that, yeah, my math is good. So, going to be another one of those situations where they're going to be hanging on for dear life and just have to fight off 2 of the fastest trucks of the night in the 72 and the 114. So, going to be an interesting restart here.
The iRacing.com pace truck bringing us into turn number 3. Casey Jones, Big David Duke, Joseph McWhorter, Travis Bieber, Jacob Lenke, Brett Bieber, Tommy Lemley, Mark Cofield, Charles Haber, and Skylar Daly. That's going to be your top 10. As the pace truck about to peel off right here. Casey Jones brings the field down here into the Geico restart zone. There's the line. Here goes the throttle.
Oh, McWhorter all over the rear bumper of Casey Jones here, and he might be able to squeeze himself under. Now the 34 shuts the door, forces him to the outside. And you know, McWhorter isn't as fast on the outside, but there are a lot older tires on the inside here, so I look for him to clear him down the backstretch here. Whoa,
Watch
first
the
Bieber
808.
way below the line.
Jesus.
Hey, look, props to Brett Bieber there. He kept his foot in that and said, I do not care.
I wouldn't either. Oh, there goes, what is that, the 97 through the infield? Yep, that's Mark Cofield on a ride. I mean, I thought the grass looked fine the way that it was, but I guess he wanted to do a little bit of landscaping here. As watch the 32. Now look at Wessenberg again. He stays in this groove. He's going to wind up squeezed. He's going to look like the Batmobile in Batman Returns when it peels all that stuff off of it. It was a whole thing. Watch the 73 here. Jeremiah Holt looks here to the high side. The 51. There's a number we haven't looked at too closely tonight. Just to the low side. Here's the 48 of Andy Kurtz. Oy.
Well, something that I'm noticing right now is Duke and Jones are side by side right now, and they're kind of actually helping the 72 of McWhorter really a lot here, as it looks like Brett Bieber and Travis Bieber both got around them now. But for a moment, they were being, oh, that's not going to be pretty.
Oh, there it is. The 70. What is that? Couldn't see who that was.
Like the
I mean, I knew who it was.
7? No, it was not the 7. 32.
I'm afraid that might have been the 32 being punted. But here's the thing. We were just talking about this, and as we go back here to the replay, we're going to look and see if we can find
it
this.
up.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we have to back it. No, I am with you. Yeah, that's the 32. Now, here's the thing, and here's what I want to explain to you folks at home and why this is important, so to speak. We've been watching the 32 play with fire all night long, and now here in the twilight of this race, he decides not to be the meat in the middle of the sandwich, but kept himself in a 3-wide situation. A tag from the 3 into the 51 gets the 32 burned.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. It looks like that fender's for a moment there was just flipping around like he was waving for help. But Brett Bieber, something I don't think we've really seen a whole lot of so far in this race, is able to track down the 72. We've seen people be able to hold up the 72 on the outside and behind them. But he's running him down, but we do have caution on the racetrack here. I don't see anything popping up. I do see Andy Kurt's name now showing. Seems like the struggles for Andy Kurtz tonight reappear.
Looks like Andy Kurtz might have towed himself here.
Took a little bit of a hop, skip, and a jump to the pits there.
Watch the 48. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Do you know what I think that looked like?
Netcode. El Netcode.
It definitely looked a little bit like our ugly friend El Netcodo.
Yeah, because you see there, Skylar is pretty far away, and it doesn't seem like they make any contact.
Oh, there it is. I mean, here's the thing. It probably would have been, they would have made contact either way, but his truck was put out of shape by neck ignition.
When you see it turn that hard off of a left rear bumper kind of touch, it's typically a net code. You know, normally if they're on the bumper like that, it's kind of more of like a, I don't want to say graceful, you're wrecking, but more of a graceful kind of slide that it turns into. When it turns into net code, it's almost like it jumps sideways on you.
Well, while these guys get things sorted out here with just 18 laps to go, we're now less than 20. We're going to step aside one final time here tonight. When we come back, hopefully the finale of this race right here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. You're watching the INVets Truck Series from Goat Locker Racing live on Sim Racing Media.
Thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. INVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. INVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about INVets, visit us at invets.org today.
Welcome back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We're here with 17 laps to go. The INVets Truck Series live with from Goat Locker Racing on Sim Racing Media. We want to thank our good friends over here at Save22.net. Save22.vet, I'm sorry. Save22 is a 501c3 organization dedicated to preventing suicide among veterans, active duty personnel, and first responders. We support those who have served our nation and communities by listening to their stories and providing unwavering support, ensuring they are never alone or forgotten. Our unwavering mission extends to 4 critical pillars: shield, protecting veterans and first responders from suicidal thoughts, creating a strong support system to help them find hope, assist, volunteer, and educate. And of course, they are sponsor of Goat Talk Live, which you can find over on Above the Yellow Line Media, or ATYL Media. As we go back underway, Alex McQueen here in the 178, watching the 64 of Matt Knights just blow the doors off of Kevin Price's Sheriff's Mobile. Meanwhile, the Bieber brothers are here just behind Joseph McWhorter as they look to try to maybe put something together here and get up and working together to get to McWhorter. But Kyle Deering, as we go on board here with the 50 machine, out of New Bern, North Carolina, he's going to be the one that capitalizes on any mistake that Brett or Travis Bieber make. All of a sudden, Brett Bieber out of Ole takes over the race lead just right from the grip of the 72 of Joseph McWhorter.
Yeah, now McWhorter's at possibility of losing second place now to Travis Bieber. It's the Bieber show.
The Bieber brothers are able to wrap the bottom line and stay right underneath McWhorter. And you know, if you can't use all of the racetrack, that's going to really hinder the amount of momentum that you can take down there, as Big David Duke sets fast time of the race at 30.3 seconds flat. And now with 13 laps to go, 30-30. With 13 laps to go, the 808 and the 114, the brothers are going to control this race. The 50 of Kyle Deering looking to get around him. Now Deering is up from 22nd position. He has fought his way through all of this traffic tonight. And
throwing full-on haymakers.
It's going to get real scary real fast.
I've seen a lot of these guys throw blocks like again. I've said it several times. I feel like I've watched these guys throw blocks like they're at a super speedway race, up to the top, down to the bottom. It's one of those things where it's like, just those kinds of blocks. It's someone's going to throw a block too late, or too early, and it's going to cause some misfortune.
12 laps to go, 11 at the line as Brett and Travis Bieber lead this race here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. You're watching the INVets Truck Series from Goat Locker Racing live on Sim Racing Media. Dave Riegel and Jordan Brockel with you here in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast booth just outside the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. As Brett Bieber and Joseph McWhorter now exchange second position here. Now, we've seen McWhorter do this before. McWhorter knows what he's got under the hood. That tells me that McWhorter is maybe just kind of letting these guys burn their stuff up. A connection problem from Jacob Lemke in the 37. Uh-oh. Checkup out of the 114. Now, that's going to... Oh.
Yeah, it's going to allow McWhorter to get to the inside. He's going to use that apron. He's going to try to some crossover.
The 808 not
here.
Throwing a block. I would have. Listen, if it was me, I would have wrecked it right there trying to hold McWhorter behind me. But Brett Bieber, he's going to go side by side. Watch him go down the backstretch.
Ooh, real
tight.
exchange
paint. Oh, geez. They're going to go drag racing down the front stretch. There is a drag strip in the middle of this racetrack, but you can't do that from here. As now the 114 of Travis Bieber gave a little bit of an arrow push there to the 808 of Brett, while Brett is literally duking it out with Joseph McWhorter. Big David Duke is running back here in sixth position, but we're going to keep it right here on the race lead.
Oh, and they are tight to each other. Not giving any room.
Oh, my God. This is got.
Loose.
Watch David Duke. He's loose against the wall. He's going to come back across the racing surface. We stay green as he stays pointed forward. There's the caution.
Now here's the question: who had control of the lead?
McWhorter had it at the time of the caution, I think.
I'm looking at the timing and scoring. It does seem like he's going to be.
Now, here's what we originally had seen. Oh,
and the 32 machine just nowhere to go again, and Libke somehow avoiding everything there.
Well, you know, and here's the thing. Usually when you hear somebody is wrecking on race radio, or when the driver's around you saying, hey, so-and-so sideways, blah, 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 you know, a lot of times drivers won't back out of the throttle until they see the caution flag. Until that status comes up on their screen. Because here's the thing, we've seen it, several times, certainly not tonight with 8 cautions to speak of, but we've seen it several times, over our careers here on iRacing.com, where the caution doesn't come out, but you, the cautious driver, you get off the throttle, and all of a sudden now you're giving up 5, 6, 7 spots because you were trying to be a safe driver.
Yeah, I mean McWhorter got me there for a second. He didn't get anybody else. Thought he was going down pit road, and I was like, oh, nobody else is coming.
Sometimes I think that's the greatest thing in all of sim racing. It's almost like a really good fake handoff in football. You know how that a handoff, how play action is really good in football? It's when you fool the cameraman.
Yeah, that's what I love, is you see that the cameraman's still following the quarterback, and all of a sudden, the quarterback or the running, as in any case, would be fooling. I think my favorite is more when they stay on the quarterback and the running back's halfway down
already
the field.
5 yards. Yeah, he's already 5 yards ahead. Yeah, that's when you know that your fake is effective, if you will.
I think I wish people would pull more fake stuff like that, like a fake punt. I would love to see that.
Yeah, it's better than just the 8-year-olds playing Madden. That the one thing that drives me nuts is that's why I do not play online Madden at all.
Oh, I tried. I was bored. I said, let me see what it's like. I haven't done it since probably like 2010, 2011. I threw 3 passes. All 3 passes were interceptions. I immediately conceded defeat, and I shut the whole thing off.
Hey, I don't blame you. I don't. Not at all. I think what drives me nuts.
It hurt.
I don't like a kid whose voice hasn't changed yet. We all, of course, know the term that we use for that. Going, hey, kick your butt. Like, I don't want to be smack talked to by a kid who, you know, could be like my son.
Right.
So, parents, if you're going to let your kids play online games, keep them away from Madden so that the rest of us can have some fun. Dylan Brunner here, cheering on the 30 machine, as well as T. Jones, 95, cheering on Jacob Lemke. So, Tommy Lemley and Jacob Lemke with a little cheering section here in our YouTube.com live chat. There's the 30 of Tommy Lemley in the Southern Tire and Supply. It does say tire, right? Suddenly I can't read that. Pipe and
Southern
Supply.
Tire. Oh, pipe and supply. Oh, I was on board. I was tire. This is very random, but he has the same helmet I do. Yeah.
The 37 with a, that's, of course, we were just talking about him. Jacob Lemke, he's got a little connection issue. As we take a look, here's Joseph McWhorter. We're going to be 3 to go when the green flag flies. The iRacing.com pace truck is off and down pit road. We hit the Geico restart zone. Joseph McWhorter with a little bit of a bobble when the green flew. He brings it back together, and all of a sudden, the Bieber brothers, they've got to hold off Kyle Deering and Tommy Lemley.
Well, Kyle Deering is just seeing the podium finish right there in front of him, and he wants it. He's going to find whatever way to it that he can. Thought about he was thinking about going 3 wide there for just a touch of a moment, but while it's happening, McWhorter is half a second ahead of these guys right now.
I mean, right now the Bieber brothers are saying, you go ahead. We know that we can't catch McWhorter. He was saving something here for the end, but right now the 808 has to hold off the 50 for a brothers 2-3 finish on the podium as Travis Bieber secures second position away. They come out of turn number 2, or out of turn number 4. Nope, it's 2 down the backstretch into 3. McWhorter with a commanding lead over Travis and Brett Bieber. As
Brett
oh
Bieber
boy,
got a little bit of a nudge.
We've got to watch here. They've got to get back to the line. The popsicle sticks go down. The white flag is in the air. We're racing back to checkers. The next flag is going to win this. Is going to end this race. All of a sudden, a challenge for the lead. Watch Travis Bieber come out of turn number 2. He's right up against the back bumper of the 72. He swings to the outside. The 72 goes to the outside. He dekes to the inside. He looks to the inside here, coming into turn number 3. They're side by side coming through turns 3 and 4. Travis Bieber being timed as your race leader, rolling out of turn 4. He gets nudged by the 72. They wreck at the line, and Travis Bieber picks up the win over Joseph McWhorter and his brother Brett Bieber out of Olney, Pennsylvania. What a finish to this race!
Every single car behind that basically obliterated themselves as well. That has got to be one of the greatest finishes I think I've seen.
That is.
And we've had some very, very dramatic finishes with these guys.
My friend, call an ambulance. My God. Watch this.
The wee woo bus.
I mean, there they go making contact coming out of turn 4, back to the line, and they wreck coming right to the line. The 34 is sideways behind them. I mean, wow.
Yeah, just everybody else behind them. I think someone just blew over, too.
Happens.
I think it was the 32 as well. If that is, that's just another insult to injury for his night.
Let's look at this right from Barney's perspective in the flag stand. He's got the white flag out. He might like... Barney is really all about this. Here we go. Quick, grab that flag, change it up, and watch him wreck.
No, it looks like it was the 178 that I was looking at, Alex McQueen, it looked like he started to have a little bit of a blowover. What a finish, dude! Like,
what a finish, I'll say. We need these fellas to get here into the broadcast waiting room.
that just
My God. Where are they? I need both Biebers and Joseph McWhorter. Here's our race winner, Travis Bieber, driver of the 114. Hey, Travis, it's Dave up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Hey, guys, got you.
Man, bringing one home for the Route 73 Mafia as, wow, what a finish to this one.
Yeah. Crazy end there. Figured I had a chance once the restart kind of played out like it did. I got a terrible start, and it just kind of gave that ability to get that run there the last lap and a half, whatever, to kind of catch up. So I felt like the three of us there, the 72, Brett in the 808, and myself, I thought we were all pretty even throughout the whole race. So I thought it was cool that it came down to us there.
Yeah, I was starting to wonder if McWhorter was holding something back about midway through the race, thinking he could really try to extend himself. And here at the very end, I think he did, try to extend himself just a little bit, but I think he burned it off just a little too early, as, of course, that opened the door for yourself to get around him. I mean, those last 50 feet, you had to have just been foot mashed all the way through the floor, no give a damn about anything.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he was that second run he saved a lot better than I did, and then that last run, I think him and Brett had kind of gotten out ahead, and I tried to save more on my end, and we came around, took 2 to go, and I thought now's the time. Let's see if it can stick, and it stuck, and he was right there up on my right side panel, and I was like, I'm gonna pull it down to the grass here, and just kind of keep us side by side and hopefully come out on top, because he was definitely side drafting to come back across. So, it was a great finish for sure.
Yeah, great finish is an understatement for the day, that's for sure. Before we cut you loose and focus on Phoenix next week, who do you need to thank and who helped you get it done tonight on the 114?
So I'd love to thank my teammates, Brett Bieber, Andy Kurtz, lots of coaching throughout the race and, working together. I want to thank the league sponsor, INVets. I also want to thank Lincoln Tech, Save 22, and the Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs. And, of course, I want to thank you guys. You guys put on a great broadcast every week. So, just appreciate all you guys do for Goat Locker and everybody else.
All right, my friend. Well, listen, congratulations. Maybe we'll cross paths one of these days as I get up there every other week. So, good luck next week at Phoenix, and we'll see you then.
Awesome, Dave. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. That, of course, the voice of our race winner in a thrilling finish, Travis Bieber. And, Jordan, I believe you have with you now Joseph McWhorter.
Yes.
Hey, so, you had a pretty dominant truck throughout the night, and, you were able to get such big leads and everything like that. And, I mean, ultimately, you don't come away with the win, but you do come away with a second, so that still has to feel good, having that other win in your pocket already.
Yeah, it feels good. I kind of messed up on the strategy. I was kind of hoping we go green, but I was kind of wishful thinking. I had to kind of battle back from that choice and got back up front, and there wasn't anything I could do to battle the draft, and like the Biebers would get nose to tail, and I was just kind of stuck out there on the high line battling as much as I could, and I'd get away, and then the draft would just suck them right back up to me, and it was just kind of aggravating the way the draft was tonight. That's kind of, the draft is normally pretty big here, but it seemed like tonight that was the most aggressive draft I think I've ever seen at Vegas. So it's kind of aggravating because you couldn't really get away from anybody or get away from anything. So, and we saw right there at the end of the race too.
Yeah, I was kind of touching on throughout the race. It kind of looked like how it is at, your Daytona and Talladega, etc. Where you kind of, once you're out front, you kind of have to do that, jump to the high line, jump to the low line, and kind of hope that they don't get runs at the same time on you.
Yeah, and I was hoping that with those two stuck side by side, getting out on that restart and coming out of two, I was kind of hoping that I'd be able to just stay away from them and they'd get stuck side by side like I was earlier battling with the whichever the one is the red Kyle Larson paint scheme, but I was hoping that they would get stuck side by side and then that would be it. But as soon as he single filed out, they were just close enough to still be in my draft, and I mean there's just nothing you can do with the way the draft was. I tried to block it, and then I was hoping I could carry the momentum on the high side. I guess I probably should have blocked it on the low side, and then I was hoping we were gonna get like a clean run through the corner, and then he roughed me up, which was fair, and then I did everything I could to try and stay away from the wall, and I had so much wheel into it, I got loose away from the wall, and then was chasing down towards him. And then we made contact coming to the line, and then it did iRacing things where it kind of like we couldn't get off of each other, and we morphed into one another, and it spun him, which wasn't what I meant to happen there. I mainly just wanted to kind of like kill his momentum and try and drag him back, but it was just how iRacing can be. It was kind of frustrating.
More than I like to admit, but certainly, I mean, you still come away with a P2 finish. Got to feel great. Keeps you in a good position in points. You already got the one win. And certainly you've got to have some group of people that you want to thank for tonight's performance, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to thank Red Camel Racing. They've been an awesome partner of mine for years. They got, all the race gear you can need, helmets, shoes, fire suits. Go check them out at redcamelracing.com. Outlier Speedco. Go check them out at outlierspeedco.com. Awesome group of guys, really fast setups. You can't go wrong with using them for anything in the open setup side of things. 29 graphics for the beautiful paint scheme you get to see each and every week. Sorry. I had a hiccup there. They make beautiful paint schemes, so go check them out at 29graphics.com. Driven Motorsports, all my teammates. You guys for putting on the broadcast, all the drivers tonight, all the admins, and ready to get into wherever we are next week. I always say that, and I keep forgetting where we are. I keep forgetting to look at the schedule.
It would be, I believe it's Phoenix. Yeah, you'll be at Phoenix next week. So.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Move just down the street to the other part of the desert, and maybe put you on that one too, brother.
Yeah, I think so. That's been a good track for me in the last couple of years. I think we'll be able to go out there and perform really well. We won the last short track race, so maybe we can go 2 in a row on short tracks, and then we follow it right back up with another short track. So maybe we can't do a little bit of a run of things here with the next 2 weeks.
It's certainly going to be an interesting one. Interesting one there, brother. And again, maybe we'll catch you on the next one.
Yep, absolutely. You guys have a great week, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the show, and looking forward to next week.
All right, brother. Thank you for your time.
Have a good one.
Thank you very much. And last but certainly not least on our podium, another member of the Route 73 Mafia out of Ole, PA, Brett Bieber, finishing third tonight, watching Travis wreck sideways for the win. Buddy, listen, what a finish to this race. And of course, you're still able to pull out the third-place finish. Congrats, man.
Yeah, thanks. We were pretty good all night. Qualified well and kind of stayed towards the front. Didn't really lose my track position too much. So it was fun racing with Travis and seeing if I could try to outgun him, but kind of got the advantage there on that last restart. So I knew he was going for it in turn 3 and 4. I just wasn't sure how it was going to end up, so worked out okay.
Yeah, we just looked here at the replay of your finish because it was definitely worth watching. I think you're the only truck that didn't finish with damage from that final lap. I feel like everybody else, went checkers or wreckers, and you just squirted on by, Travis and Joseph. What a great race. I mean, now the question that I asked Travis, and maybe you heard me, was do you think McWhorter was trying to hold off and maybe he just burned a little bit too much at the very end?
Nah, I think it's just the nature of the draft. It seems like it was almost like a super speedway race. The yellows came out at the right times where the tires didn't end up being a huge factor, and it you couldn't really get away from, even when I was out front, I couldn't really get away from the truck in second. So it was a really exciting race, and it made it fun to do iRacing for a change.
Hey, man, I totally get it. I mean, still a great finish for you, even though, everybody's hoping to get on the top step of that podium, but unfortunately tonight it went to the other Bieber, if you will. But before we cut you loose, who do you need to thank and who helped you get it done on the 808 tonight?
Yeah, I just want to thank Travis and Andy. It's fun working with both of them. And I want to thank some sponsors, iRacing, Above the Yellow Line, Sim Motion, and everyone that puts this broadcast on to allow us to kind of rewatch it and see what we did right and wrong.
All right, my friend. Well, like I told Travis, hopefully we cross paths one of these days. I'm up there every other week. So, listen, congrats tonight. Good luck next week at Phoenix, and we'll see you on the other side, my friend.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That's the voice of Brett Bieber, driver of the number 808. And, man, what a finish we had tonight, Jordan.
Dude, every time that we do one of these races, I'm like, there's no way that we top, the previous best finish. I mean, we saw in the ARCA, Eddie Smith gets into Brett Bieber, and it just turns into chaos. I mean, we have close finishes, door-to-door action. And then, then we come here for the Truck Series, and it's another just absolute amazing show with a finish that you don't expect, and we have to put you on cardiac arrest watch, and I gotta make sure Lindsay's right there with whatever she needs. I'm gonna end up getting you a defibrillator so that Lindsay can give you a little bit of a shock. Just
a
to keep that
forklift
heart
and a car
running.
battery. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. But listen, my friend, it's been just an incredible race tonight. I mean, I think you really put the right punctuation on this competition tonight. And I can't wait to slide in here tomorrow night for the ARCA Series. But before we turn our attention to the ARCA Series on Monday night, let's take one final look at our results from tonight. Travis Bieber brings home the checkered flag. He's followed on the podium by Joseph McWhorter and Brett Bieber. Kyle Deering and Tommy Lemley round out your top 5, while Big David Duke finishes in 6th. Casey Jones finishes 7th with Jacob Lenke. Charles Abert and Skylar Daly, they come home and finish up your top 10. Jeremiah Holt and Matt Knights finish in 11th and 12th with Mark Cofield in 13th. 14th goes to James Kaufman with Alex McQueen and Kevin Price in 15th and 16th. Cameron Wessenberg brings home 17th place honors, while Christopher Morse Jr. brings home 18th. Jamie Libke and Andy Kurtz round out your top 20. And finishing out the rest of the field is Michael McCarthy out of Matamoros, Pennsylvania, Mark Hollifield Sr., and Brandon Wallace after just getting 4 laps in tonight. So 23 cars tried to get this thing underway, and unfortunately, Wallace finishes dead last, while Travis Bieber picks up the win. Another different driver picking up a win in this season. 5 races, 5 winners. Now it's 6 races, 6 winners. When, there's not going to be a whole lot of room left for guys to point their way in to, of course, to the playoffs. But for myself, Dave Regal, and my broadcast partner extraordinaire, Mr. Jordan Brockel, we want to thank all of you for tuning in tonight to the INVets Truck Series from Sim Racing Media, or from Goat Locker Racing on Sim Racing Media. We want to thank all of you for making us a part of your evening and welcoming us into your homes, onto your phones, every Sunday night, and, of course, Monday tomorrow for the ARCA Series. And tomorrow and every day as you walk down the road of life, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.